Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Praise coming at you with my first video of 2023. Today I'll be giving you guys my favorite loadouts I've been using in the new Warzone 2.0. But before I get right into it, if you do enjoy the video and want more content, then don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I think she wanna love, she wanna love, she wanna.
Getting into the first build here, I've got to go with the TAC V. I'm sure you've heard about it. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing, but everybody is talking about this. Everybody's using it. The TAC V just hits different. It's the perfect gun for your medium to long range. The way I have it built out, your recoil is not going to be hurting that much, but that's what everybody says the downfall is with this gun. Your recoil, your accuracy, it goes out the window. Incorrect. You build it right, you use it right, you can handle that recoil. So with this, we'll start off with the muzzle. I'm using the Polarfire S. It's perfect. It's gonna suppress your sound. It's gonna boost your bullet velocity, your damage range, and your recoil smoothness. Like I said earlier, people complain about the recoil. This will help with your recoil smoothness, but it's also going to help with your damage range and bullet velocity. We have it at 0.77 on the weight side, just because really it doesn't go up much more after the 75 range. So anywhere between 70 and 80 is gonna be perfect for you. But down on the link side, we're maxing that out to the bullet velocity side. We're going all the way to the right. It's going to help with your range. It's going to help with your damage. Now, yes, it's going to hit your recoil and it's going to hit your accuracy and your mobility, but that's also what we have the weight up to 0.77 for. It's going to even out a little bit. But then after that, on the barrel side, we're using the 18-inch precision 6 barrel. This is also going to help with your damage range, your bullet velocity, but it's also going to help with your hip fire accuracy. We're not worried about your hip fire accuracy. You're not going to be hip firing with this. If you do, good luck. I mean, it's not meant for that. But anyway, on the weight side, we're going up to the 0.39. Once again, it doesn't help much more if you go up. You can go up, but in between the 30 and the 40 mark is usually where I keep it. That's going to help your damage and your range and your accuracy once again. But on the bottom, we're maxing it out to damage range once again. You want as much damage and as much range as you can possibly get, because you don't have the quickness and you don't have the greatest recoil unless you can control it. So we want the damage to be absolutely as maxed out as possible. Now, going on to where I feel like this is one of the biggest attachments of this gun. The TAC 56, you don't have to have a sight. I use a sight on every gun I use, but you don't have to have a sight on that. On this, with the recoil being the way it is, I feel like the Corvus or the AIM-OP is going to be your best option. Everybody says the AIM-OP V4 is a great option. It is. I've used both. I like the Corvus best myself. But on the weight side, we're leaving it completely as it is. It doesn't really do much if you go up or down. And honestly, I'm not worried about aim down side speed. You can tune it however. But where I'm using all of my tuning in this is straight to the far on the eye position side. This is going to make it to where my medium to long range fights are easier. I mean, I'm not very in depth in this game, so I don't know. Like, if I kept it at 0, I probably wouldn't tell much of a difference. But this sight itself, I keep the dot on my person at all time. Like, I'm hitting my shots. So it's a perfect sight for this gun. You're not zooming in too far. You're not using just a reflex sight just up on you. So it's a perfect sight. That or the AIM-OP 4. But anyway, onto the magazine. We're going to use the 50 round drum here. Yes, your movement speed, your aim down sight speed, your reload quickness, your sprint to fire speed, that's all going down. Whatever, not a big deal. Once again, this gun is meant to hit. We're not worried about the sprint. We're not worried about the reload quickness. We're not worried about any of that. If you have the 50 round drum, you won't be reloading after every kill. You can wipe out a team of 2 or 3 with this. Movement speed, that's what you have your secondary for. If you're using this gun, more than likely you're in a medium to long range fight anyway. You're not worried about moving that much. Now, onto the one attachment that makes this build the build that it is. Like we've been talking about the whole build, this gun is not the best on recoil, but right here with this F-Tac Ripper, you're maxing out your recoil stabilization. You're maxing it out. It's going to help your accuracy. Obviously, your recoil, it's all going to go up. Now on the bottom, we're aiming towards the aiming out idle stability, because, like I said, you're not really walking with this gun. You're not moving with this gun when you're using it that much. It's meant to hit. So your aiming idle stability, you want that as, you know, as good as you can get it. So at the 0.23 mark, between the 0.2 and the 0.3 mark is perfect. It doesn't go up much more after that. So I'm just keeping it almost dead in the middle of the 0.2 and 0.3. But anyway, yeah, this gun, I don't know, like the recoil, like y'all say, I mean, you can tell it's going up, but you see how quick this thing is melting kids. See, like from the farther range, it is a little bit more difficult, but you see 2-3 shots and these guys are going down. So I mean, at the cost of the recoil, I will take this thing hitting like a freight train the way it does. So yeah, that's, for me, that's my go-to right now. That and the TAC 56. But let's get into gun number 2. All right, with build number 2 here, we obviously have to go with the RPK. Just like the TAC V, everybody is using this or talking about this. This gun is hyped as everybody makes it out to be. This gun hits. So it's basically built out the exact same way as the other build, but we're taking off that underbarrel and we are using a high velocity ammunition, and we are not worried about a magazine because you already have 75 rounds. So anyway, suppressor, same thing, polar fire. It's tuned the exact same way. It's going to give you that sound suppression. It's going to help you bullet velocity and damage range and your recoil smoothness. So at cost for your aim down, sight speed, and aiming stability, but once again, you're not moving around with this gun. This is a long range to medium to long range build, and it's going to hit. So on for your barrel, the TAC 597 barrel, same thing as the last thing. You want it between 2 and 3 on your damage range, and then between 3 and 4 on your weight. It doesn't go up much more after that. So this is going to help with your damage range, your hip fire accuracy, movement speed, and your bullet velocity at cost for your aim down, sight speed, hip recoil control, and your recoil control. But your recoil control will come from this grip, the Demo X2. That's all it's meant for, is recoil. So you're almost maxing out that recoil steadiness. Anything between 6 and 7 is going to be perfect. 0.6 and 0.7. And on the bottom, towards your aiming idle stability, same thing as the last one, between 2 and 3. That's where you're going to want to keep it. It doesn't go up much more on either one of these, so there's no point maxing it out, but you can if you want. Same sight for the same reason. It's just that perfect medium to long range sight. But on to my favorite attachment on this gun, honestly, it's got to be the 7.62 high velocity. Nobody really talks about the ammunition being a big thing, but for me, you max out this bullet velocity at the 9.00 grams. It's insane. You don't even touch the left side, just max out your bullet velocity, and it's gonna hit. It's that perfect attachment for this build. It brings it all together. Once again, like that TAC, this thing is not gonna aim down sight speeds quick, but it just the killing range is insane. Once again, you see 2 or 3 bullets and these mannequins are down. I suck. Well, none of those hit. But anyway, you see, aim down sight speed on those two are going to be very slow, but at a good cost. They hit like freight trains. But anyway, let's move on to gun number 3. Now, gun number 3 here, everybody loves it. It's your TAC 56. Just like the TAC V, but your recoil is going to be so much better. This is more of a gun used for people who don't want to worry about that recoil, or for beginners. This is a perfect beginner gun. That and the M4. The M4 is always a great gun. It's just not on my list because anybody can use the M4. So with this, we're basically going the same thing as the other two, but we don't have the polar fire on here, so we're using the Harbinger, or the Harbinger. I don't know how to say it. But it's doing the exact same thing. It's going to sound suppress. It's going to help your bullet velocity, your damage range, and your recoil smoothness. We're tuning it out basically the same way. Max out that bullet velocity on the bottom, and then keep your aim down sight speed and your recoil smoothness down there at 0. Just leave it the same. There's no point moving that because either or, there's not much going on. So, I try and leave it as close to the same as I can, right in the middle. Onto the barrel, we're going with the Tundra Pro barrel here, the 17.5 inch. Once again, this is going to help your damage range, your bullet velocity. It's going to help your recoil, your hip fire accuracy, but we're not worried about your hip fire accuracy with this build, obviously. This one is a little bit easier to use close range because the fire rate itself is quicker, but once again, it's more of a medium to long range build, just like the other ARs in this video. We're going to put the weight to 0.29 up to the recoil steadiness side. It's going to help with your recoil steadiness, obviously. With that suppressor and the sight, you'll have basically no recoil. On the bottom, we're going to go towards your damage range side between 0.3 and 0.4. It doesn't go up very much more after that. Honestly, it doesn't go up very much after 0.3, but tune it how you want. This is just how I prefer my build. Onto the sight, same reason. Medium to long range build. High velocity, same thing. Gives it that punch. And then the 40 round mag, it's going to take down your movement speed, but at the cost of having more ammo. There's no point using the 60 round here because you can reload quicker with this gun. You'll shoot faster with this gun. I'm just going to use the 40 round in this situation. But you can use a 60 round. You'll just move a little bit slower. Honestly, not much of a cost. But you do as you will. We'll go to the firing range with this, and we'll just show y'all that the aim down sight speed is a little bit quicker. The fire rate is definitely quicker, but this thing still packs a punch from medium to long range. Even this short range right here, you see, even the long range, I'm getting these hits off, and he's dying pretty quick. Now the body shots you see, it's 3, 4, maybe 5 bullets. Let's see the headshot, 2 to 3 bullets, and he's down. You can't go wrong with the TAC 56. It hits just like a SCAR. It is a SCAR. It's a perfect build for anybody really. But if you're not wanting to worry about that recoil, or you're just getting into the game, the TAC 56 is my best option for you. Now getting into the last rifle build in this video, I'm gonna have to go with the Lockman 5.56. Now, this gun reminds me just exactly like the Growl from the last Modern Warfare, which was one of my favorite guns in the game, personally. Now, this gun is basically just like your TAC 56. It's going to do the exact same thing. We have it literally laid out the exact same way. The same sight with the same tuning, the 40 round mag, the high velocity, the same suppressor. Everything's going towards that damage range. And with the build being the way it is, it already has a higher fire rate, and you already aim down sight speed quick, and you already reload faster than your TAC V and your RPK. So this build right here is exactly laid out the same as your TAC 56. So there's no need of me explaining much of it, but we'll take it to the firing range. Now this gun right here, honestly, I feel like it is weaker than the TAC 56 just a little bit, but the fire rate is also more, and I don't know, it gives me like that. Obviously the Lockman sub is like the MP5, but this gives me like an MP5 AR build kind of vibe going on. One of my favorite guns in the game. Once again, perfect for somebody who doesn't want to worry about recoil, or somebody who is new to the game, or you just want a simple build. This gun is perfect for you. Yeah, I don't know how else to tune this, really. You could throw in a rear grip on every single one of these. You could substitute the, I don't know, maybe you could substitute the high velocity for a rear grip or a stock if you want. But me personally, I'm not going for my aiming and stuff. That just comes to me easier when I'm in game. The damage is where I want all these builds to come out to. Every single one of these guns is where I'm wanting this to come out to, is the damage. Now getting into the SMG builds that I was talking about, there are 2 specific SMGs that are my favorites. But some honorable mentions, obviously, the Veil 46. It's your MP7, perfect. I like it. The MX9 is also a great choice. The Hurricane, very good choice. It's like an M4. It is an M4 build, just SMG version. It shoots quick. It's smooth. I like this gun. The Mini Buck, everybody loves this gun. Bullfrog, Bison, whatever you want to call it. The Mini Buck is amazing. It It's like the Fennec, so there's not going to be any visible tracers of you killing anybody on your mini map. It's a perfect gun to use. And then the PDW and the BAS I don't really use much of, but they're both also very good. They're very quality SMG builds. But these two right here, we're going to look specifically into the Lockman sub that I was talking about earlier, and then the Fennec. Now the Lockman here, we have built out high ammo. We don't worry about the damage range. Aim down sight speed, movement speed. This is a very up close, in your face, in your bubble kind of gun. We're taking off the stock. Yes, like I said, it's going to affect your recoil, blah, 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 blah. We're not worried about any of that. This is a up close and personal gun. Your rear grip, we're using a Lockman TCG. It's going to help with the recoil control to kind of back up. That's the stock being gone. The way we're going to tune it is we're going to make it up to about 0.39. Between 0.3 and 0.4 is the perfect build for this gun. It doesn't go up very much more after that. Same thing with the width on the bottom. We're going to keep that at 0.3. You can go anywhere between 0.3 and 0.4. It doesn't really go anymore much higher after 0.3, but you do as you will. I'm going to throw in that 50 round drum because, like I said, we want the most ammo possible. You're pulling this gun out when you're rushing into buildings, you're going to objectives, you're running around the map. You need the ammo. This is the perfect attachment for this gun. Now, yes, it does affect your aim down sight speed, movement speed, blah blah blah, but this gun itself is a lightweight gun. You have no stock, you don't have an optic on it, you're not running heavy ammo. This is a very light gun. You can move around and aim down sight speed just fine with this 50 drum mag. So onto the muzzle. I'm going to use the Forge DX90 here. It is going to help with your sound suppression and your recoil smoothness at cost for your damage range. Once again, we're not worried about shooting far with this gun. So we're tuning it. We're going to go about 0.75-ish up towards the recoil smoothness. Once again, you can go between 0.7, 0.8, choose how you will. This is just how I have it built out. On the bottom, we're going to go 0.7 to 0.8 on the length towards the bullet velocity. This is going to help at your range just a little bit, but really there's no point in messing with your idle stability because this gun is not going to be a gun that you're using posted up on a wall or something. You're moving around with this gun, you're rushing people with this gun. This is a gun that you're moving around with, so you want to be very, very mobile with this gun, but also have a little bit of that hit factor as well. With the barrel, we're going with the F-Tac M-Sub 12-inch. It's going to help with your bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, and hip fire accuracy. Now, I know I said that we're worried about the aim down sight speed and movement speed here, but like I said, every other attachment is making this gun so quick that we can take losing these two for this. This is going to help with, obviously your bullet velocity, so you can fight these medium range battles. You're not going to fight a long range battle with this, but you can fight any kind of short to medium range battle with this. It's perfect. So we're going to tune it out 0.35 on the recoil steadiness and 0.30 on the damage range. Really no point in going any higher on these. It's not going to change anything, but you do as you will. And I mean, it's basically the same build for the Fennec too, other than we are going to run an underbarrel on this just because of how fast this gun is. So we're going to run the biggest mag you can on this. The Fennec Mag 45 is going to give you the most ammo you can. Once again, this gun is very tiny, very small, very mobile. You don't have to worry about anything with your mobility or your aim down sight speed. The underbarrel, we're going to use the Phase 3 grip. It's going to help with your recoil stabilization and your aiming stabilization and your hip fire. You may hip fire with this gun, very good possibility. Same as with the MP5 or the Lockman sub that we were just talking about. It's going to be way easier to use these guns in hip fire scenarios than it is to use those ARs in those hip fire scenarios. So this build right here is going to be perfect. Yes, it says it takes down your aim down sight speed. No, it doesn't. This gun is very quick. It's very mobile. You're going to be able to move just as fine with any of these attachments that say it takes down the movement speed. It won't take it down. It's a very great gun. So with this underbarrel, we're going to go with the Phase 3 grip. It is perfect for your hip fire accuracy, your aiming stability, and your recoil stabilization. Now, I know it says it's taking down your aim down sight speed. No, it's not. This gun is so lightweight, so small. Your mobility, your movement speed, anything like that, it's not going down. This is a perfect attachment to have. So on the weight side, we're going to go 0.46 up towards the recoil stabilization. Once again, this is going to help the recoil. Since this gun is so quick, it is going to be all over the place when you're using it, but at that cost of it being quick, you're going to have, like, the bullets are going to hit very, very much faster. It's going to kill your kid. It's going to melt them. It's a very good gun. On the bottom, we're going to go with 0.21 on length. Anywhere between the 0.2 and the 0.3 is perfect for your aiming stability. It doesn't go up very much more after that, so I just keep it right here. On your barrel, we're going to go with the 5.5 inch Fennec. Mini tack. This is going to help your aim down sight speed, your movement speed, and your hip fire, your hip recoil control. Now, there's no point in really, you don't have to have any attachments that helps your aim down sight speed with this, but the quicker you are, the better. The quicker you can get your sights down on your guy, you're going to kill him with this gun. It melts. It's so quick. So overtuning this, we're leaving the left side as it is, and honestly, we're going to go with the aim down sight speed a little bit quicker on this one, because this gun, you're not going to be fighting very many medium ranges whatsoever. This is a very up close and personal gun. The Lockman sub, you can get away with the medium battles, but this gun, you're really just staying in building fights, rushing objectives. I mean, this is a very up close and personal gun. So we're also going to go no stock here, and we're going to run the Fennec stippled grip. This is going to help with your recoil control, and we're gonna put the weight at 0.35 towards the recoil steadiness. This is going to help with your recoil, obviously. But then we're also going to take the aiming idle stability, and we're not going to mess with it there. We're going to go to sprint to fire, because we are not worried about aiming idle with this. So you're going to go sprint to fire at 0.25 inches, anywhere from the 0.2 to 0.3. It's going to be perfect. And yeah, this build is just going to shred. I'll take both of them to the firing range and show you, but like, it shoots very quick, very, very quick. See what I mean? You're not fighting these medium battles. This is more of an up close and personal. I mean, somebody's running in a building on you. That's what you're using. So we'll show you the Lockman sub. Now this one is going to be more of a medium kind of build. You can, well, I just missed everything, but you can shoot anybody from, you know, this medium range and still kill them, as you can see. The long range, I mean, you can hit them, but you're not going to be able to hold that down very well for long range. That's what you'll have these other ARs for. But now to get into what I use for my secondaries. Yes, and if you guess the pistols, you are right. The X13 Auto, we dual wield them akimbo. We're making 2 of these suckers. These things are so quick. They hit. I don't lose any battles whenever I'm fighting with these. In a building, no one's touching me. These things melt. So, like I said, we're throwing on the rear grip. You're not worried about aiming down sights whatsoever with these. 50 round drums, so you have 100 bullets in total. Why wouldn't you? We're going to throw on the 9mm hollow point. We're going to put the damage range up to 0.5 grams, and we're going to max out the bullet velocity. This is just like the AR builds. Since you're not aiming down, might as well max out everything to make this thing hit as hard as possible. So we're going to throw that on there, and then on your muzzle we're going to throw on some the FT Steel Fire. This is going to suppress your sound, help with bullet velocity and damage range, and recoil smoothness. Recoil is not really that big of a deal. The guns do go up, but you're not really worried about that much. So on your weight, we're going 1.04 on the recoil. I really wouldn't go much higher than that, honestly. Honestly, going much more higher than 1 is not a big deal. It doesn't move much after that. On the bottom, we're going 0.77 in length towards the bullet velocity. You keep this between 0.7 and 0.8, you'll be fine. It doesn't go up much more after that. On your barrels, this is a huge thing too. This is going to help your recoil control a lot. This makes it to where your guns aren't hitting the ceiling as you're shooting them, but it's also going to help your bullet velocity. So on your weight side, we're going 0.35 on the recoil steadiness. Anywhere between 0.3 and 0.4 is going to be perfect. Same thing on the bottom, we're going 0.28. Anything between 0.2 and 0.3 is going to be perfect towards your damage range. This just helps. It helps with the recoil, but it also helps it to where it's gonna kill these kids. Now, you're not gonna be using these on people this far, obviously, but it gets the job done if it had to. This is meant for somebody rushing in on you through a door. You hear somebody, you're rushing on people. These are just quick. You see how quick they shoot. You see how quick you can move around with them. I mean, it's just in my opinion, it's the most ideal secondary to use right now in Warzone. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up for this class loadout video. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow my socials. I'll link them in the description. But as always, y'all keep it easy. Peace.